This is so disappointing to me. Those are beautiful mushrooms. I would have thought a place where people still forage for such things wouldn't be so wasteful. Oh, hey little kitty. Good morning, friends. How are you? So I'm getting my my outdoor kitchen put together this morning. I just recently got the double burner cooktop together out here. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I've kind of learned, I might have shared before, these white tubs. They use these tubs to sell things. They come in bulk to the little grocery stores and stuff. And like if people want just so much cheese or so much whatever, they just take it out and sell it to them by the kilo. And then you can buy these tubs in Popovo at this one place. I think I pay 50 cents for them. They're a little bit of a pain in the butt to take the lid on and off. You kind of have to look for the spot where you can stick your finger. But that's a good thing because then you can not worry about it when you leave. If you snap this on really well, then I can leave it here and not have to worry about rodents getting into it or whatever. And so here what I have, I'm kind of sorting out my spices to remind myself what I have. I have things that I brought with me from Thailand. These are expired technically, right, by a couple of years. That usually means with this kind of stuff, it just doesn't have as much flavor as it did before. Don't throw things like this away if you're trying to be frugal. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not going to hurt you. That's coconut cream powder. You add warm water to it and it can be a base for curry. This is, they call it salt. This is like Bulgarian seasoned salt. And what I do here, where's my little shaker? You buy a shaker. See, sol. That's what that says there in Cyrillic. Sol means salt. So seasoned salt. But you buy this little shaker at the little store, and then when I run out, I refill it with the little bag. That's the most cost-efficient way to do it. And then I have some assorted herbs. I need a little mortar and pestle. I haven't got one of those yet. This is Turkish rice seasoning with all kinds of interesting flavors in it. I haven't played with this yet. Looking forward to that. Here's another kind of stuffing rice seasoning. Here's some oregano. This looks like it's from here in Bulgaria. Yeah. All of this is expired. That's okay. I'm glad to have it. I'll play with it. We'll see what kind of flavors we can get going. So that's what's up. And then here's my double burner. I have this over here so that in case it rains, I don't have to worry about it. I've learned that in the past. It's a little rain deflector. And this fits nicely over the other one. And then I know right where my big old soup pot is because it just stays there. And I don't usually use both burners. The burner used to have a little automatic self-lighting kind of thing when you pushed it in and it would click, but you have to do it by hand now. And what I do is I open up that little thing right there, and that opens up the valve to let the gas out. And then I turn this so that like that, and then the gas that's coming out, you can even smell it. And then I do the lighter. You want to stand back in situations like that if you're not sure how much gas is coming out, because it can make a big poof of flame and scare you half to death. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Got some lettuce seeds. Hope you're having a great day. So here what I have is I have a styrofoam tray that some things came on that somebody gave me. I forgot who now. And then a little plastic clamshell kind of a case. I got some nice crackers that they have down at the whole store. There's sunflower seeds in them and stuff. But I don't want to just throw these in the trash. I can find practical purpose for this. It's just a matter of being able to find them. So I've got my art supplies in here. I'm going to integrate these into my art supplies because they'll make good little trays for mixing paints on. And then, you can toss them after that, or you can keep using them for the same thing again. But if I have several artists here working with paints, that's going to be handy. And I know where they are. So as I've shared before, I love to entertain. Hospitality is it's important for me. So I'm trying to get things organized. I've been having these open houses, happy hour kind of things for friends. I'm going to group these things together, 2 different kinds of wine openers. And I've also got this really beautiful bottle opener. I'm going to put these all together because I want to figure out how I want to display everything. They'll be there. This I have here just for my pistachio nutshells. Eating right out of here. I bought almonds by the bulk here before because I like to support that, but both times they've been really stale, like too stale to eat. So that's a disappointment because they're not so cheap. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Pistachios are delicious. Just showing off the little arrangement I did with the eggs that Liga and Lucy left. I already had this little bird's nest on display, and it's got some antique keys in there under there, but it just worked out so well that I had a little bird's nest in a bowl, and I could put that up here. This is not an actual watercolor, it's a print, but I thought it was pretty and inspiring. It was very inexpensive. I got it in Montenegro along the coast. Bought a few of them and gifted. That coastal part of Montenegro, around Kotor and Bar, and really, really nice, really beautiful. These plastic trays are, I've spoken about this before too. I bought them at the produce market in Popovo. They're used to transport the produce and stuff, like the farmers use them. But sometimes they have them over on the side and you can get them really reasonable, and they stack and they're very handy. So I'm kind of doing this in stages, the things that are the most interesting. I've cleaned them before and put in here to come back and reevaluate. These are knives that have probably lived here for a long time. Well, not that one so much, not that one. It's okay. But like this one, goodness knows how much that's cut around here. So I'd love to bring that one back to life. This one, I think I'm going to try to find someone here locally to help me really get a sharp blade on those. I could do it myself. It would take me a while. I don't have a grinding wheel. I used to sharpen dental instruments, and I was really good at that. It's just like a big version of it. But I've got one knife that I keep really handy that I like, and one serrated knife. So these will just be kind of backup, but I want to go ahead and keep them out where I can see them so I get them good and sharp. This is an old school vintage thermos. Lord knows how old this is. The thing is, like, these old plastics are so different than modern plastics. I found this in the barn at some point, and I've already given it one good cleaning. Let me open it for you, because people who remember traditional thermoses, that's the cup that goes on the top that you drink out of. And then it has a little plug that stirs in the top of it. Or not stirs, screws on the top of it. And then it's lined, that would actually break, right? That inside, it could break. It's like kind of a silver reflective glass. This can keep things really hot and nice. And you can fix yourself, a thermos of coffee and take it with you. It's like our water bottles today. Like, it just needs a little bit more good scrubbing. I'm very happy to have that. And it's kind of cute. Bright colors. Now this is something, it looks like it may have come in some kind of a set with this. The colors of the plastics are so close. You most probably all recognize what this is. Orange juicer. That's how we would have used it. I'm not quite sure why it has that. Kind of looks. Anyway, I don't know how these guys work together. Maybe someone can look at this and tell what it is. My first guess is like putting an egg in there, and a way to kind of take the egg white off and leave the yolk. I'm really not sure. I never used these things very much, even when I lived in Florida, because I knew how to do it by hand quite well. And we had a big counter juicer, big squeeze it with a handle, very old school one that my ex-husband had from restaurant equipment stuff. So if I was going to juice a bunch of oranges, I would use that. But I'm going to hang on to this because I think it's nice. It's solid, good, strong plastic. Don't see any reason to get rid of that. Just need to... Oh, here we go. Now things are starting to come together. There must be another piece that goes with this. Oh, this guy sits on top of here. Now I'll figure it out. Yeah, there we go. See, that goes there like that. And then you pour the orange juice out. Oh, how handy. That's 50. But I still don't know what this guy is. Seems like it would go there. Maybe it says, oh yeah, maybe this holds the half of the orange, and you hold that in your hand. Yeah, maybe these are the pieces that go together. And we have your old meat pounder. If you've not used one of these, if you're kind of new to cooking, let me explain something about this. Is really handy. Like when I would use this, you see how it has bigger teeth on one side and smaller teeth on the other side? You can use it to beat the heck out of like a tough piece of meat to make it a little bit more tender. It's also really handy if, say, you have a chicken breast. Say you buy a pack of chicken breasts and part of the breast is really thick and then it comes down thinner. When you try to cook that just like it is, you can overcook the thinner part and undercook the thicker part. So what's the easiest way to do it is to, well, at home we would use plastic wrap. I'm not going to do that here. I might use cloth and then wash it afterwards. But you would pound it, gently pound the meat until you get it kind of evenly to an even thickness. It'll cook more consistently. Then you can bread it, or all different kinds of things you can do. To learn how to cook inexpensive meats effectively is a really great way to save money. So a meat tenderizer, pounder, doobie-doo can be a handy tool. If you don't recognize what this is, I want to scrub it up really good, make it shine. This would be what they would use to take, if they're canning goods, and by canning, I mean putting fruits or vegetables into jars so to preserve them, and they get really hot in the water. So you use this and it kind of automatically wants to squeeze around it like that, and you can pull the jar up out of the water without having to reach down in your hand. It's and this one's very, very sturdy. It's probably been used for a long, long time. I love all the things that came with this homestead, I swear. I can always use another serving bowl. I'm going to put that with my dishes inside. Being organized makes it so much easier to entertain. I don't know who that lid goes to. These are really handy, but I'm going to have to find the lid to that one. And just a couple of coffee mugs. We'll see if you guys make the cut. I don't have all that much shelf space. I'm at the Pensioners Club, they call it, for their Easter gathering. I'm going to be nice to them and not take my camera out so much. Try to be respectful. But I did want to show you some little decorations. We've got the stork. But these are what caught my eye, these ballerinas. Look how pretty that is. That's so pretty. Simple white paper cutouts. I love these flowers too. Have a great day. So friends, as I was saying, I'm at the Pensioners Club. It's kind of like the senior center. And I got a membership last time I was here, and I got invited to this Easter party. And I paid ahead for my participation because I tried to come to one before and learned the hard way. It was sort of prepaid thing. It got very awkward. But the lady just came in with all these eggs, and I was supposed to choose one because we're going to do the egg war thing. And if I had been thinking, I probably would have taken a little bit more time with it because some of them are a lot stronger than others. We don't do this at home, but they do it at a lot of places. You hit them on end. See who's cracks.
Oh,
they're making the salads. Got the crasta. Yum, yum, yum. This method they use these like enameled trays. I've got a couple of it at my place, but see how she has the cutting board just like right in there? And you just chop it up and put it right in the thing. That's such an easy way to do it. That's such a smart way to do it. I like it a lot. I'm having such a nice time watching these elderly ladies make this salad for the group. It's amazing how the smells of the cucumbers and the cut lettuce are just really strong and smell so delicious. And they're just going to use a simple vinegar and oil, it looks like, with it. Quite typical here, but it's just fun to watch. I don't understand a lot of what they're saying, but I've volunteered with a lot of different groups of women, and the different personalities that happen within groups are familiar to me. You know, you have like the cheerful leadership that's encouraging to people. You have the one who wants to be assertive and be in charge, but kind of like fussy and looking for things to fuss about. You've got just the happy workers who'll take all the grief and just keep on making things happen. Groups are very interesting, and you see a lot of consistency in certain dynamics within groups wherever you go, I've found. So the thing about village life, which could take a lot of adjusting to if you're used to like sitting in rush hour traffic and feeling pressed for time and generally stressed, to try to slow it down enough to be comfortable in a rural village like this, it would be very difficult. It's a long acclimation, okay? I love it. I'm cool with it. What happened today was, so I'm at this senior center, like I said, and a couple of the ladies told me what time to be here, very emphatically, 10 o'clock. So I got here at 10 o'clock, and now it's almost 11, and there's just a few people in there. They're still making the salad. Everything's all chill, like there wasn't really a party time, You learn to, different cultures have different ideas about time frames, and that became very conspicuous to me when I lived in Switzerland and crossed over the border into Italy. Very different, and I'm not saying good or bad. I'm not judgmental like that. I've been different ways in different times in my life and lived in different environments. Just kind of trying to help people realize, if you do come here or you spend time in a Bulgarian village, be ready to be patient. Be ready to be patient, because impatience is not a virtue in these situations, right? You gotta chill into it, relax into it. And if you don't have time for that, you can go to other places and move faster, right? There's stores available. You need things quicker, that kind of thing. But just in general, not so tight on the schedule stuff. Friends, I have something to share. So when Ryan and I came back after the pandemic, the borders were closed in Bulgaria for a few years. And there's a lot of elderly in this village. And when we came back, I was very concerned at what the reality might be when we came back, how many people might be missing, right? And when we came back, there was a noticeable difference, for sure. And it was hard for people. I noticed when they came to the village gathering, everybody's kind of looking around to see who made it. And I was here last year, right? Last year, this is 25 when I'm recording this. Last year, the pandemic's been over for a while, right? Like, generally speaking. But there was, this time the village seemed so much quieter than before. And I've been to celebrations here at the Pensioners Club before, and it also seems like maybe half as many people here as before. Now, admittedly, they're elderly, so that's going to happen. But one of the ladies sat next to me. We're just sitting outside in the sun waiting for things to start. And she made the comment to me, no people, And I asked her, like, where? And I don't know very many words, but I know where. And she said, coronavirus. I said, oh no. I said, I was thinking maybe Varna, I was thinking maybe they had moved away, because some people do that. They go to live with their children in other larger towns. She's like, no, that they're dead. This breaks my heart, of course, but it breaks my heart that much more because I know some expats in the area who've spoken very loudly on social media, kind of seeming very, skeptical about the vaccine. Okay. But a lot of people that were very skeptical about the vaccine were also very resistant to taking general precautions. This really drove me crazy. I just went through it the other day with an expat who was like in Tenerife, like a couple of weeks ago in Tenerife, got deathly ill. And what did he do? He jumped on the airplane to come back to Voditsa. And I asked him, like, did you wear a mask? Like, this is a British guy. Did you wear a mask? And he said, no. I said, well, I hope you didn't get anybody sick. He literally said, I don't care. He literally said that. I about fell out of my chair. Are you kidding me? You're going... Anyway, that just drives me crazy. Okay, so you don't want to get the vaccine. That's you, right? That's you. When the virus was going crazy, was very busy, that was a really, in my opinion, an irresponsible take on it, and I don't want to get into it with anybody. But when you don't take basic precautions and you're around elderly people, it's just so wrong. So wrong. So anyway, getting off my soapbox, it made me so sad. So sad. There's such a handful now who are here for this festival, for this Easter festival. I don't believe it had to go that way. Have a good day. My neighbor's got some of the coolest wheels in the village. Got a front seat and a back seat. She just puts right along here.